Well, Kevin, I just wanted to have a walk with you today on the Great Blue Heron Way, which is a project that my Auntie Ruth has been working on for probably 20 plus years. So she's really wanted to create the Great Blue Heron Way to connect First Nations through the waterways and through the diking systems. Walking out here is really inspirational for me as an artist, because when you're trying to create something new, it's nice to come out here and just kind of think and reflect on the lands and who the art is for. TFN asked me to help out with the branding process this time to kind of correct the previous mistakes that were made in the last branding project, which was just adding the color red and changing the art and kind of making a mess of the flag.
The decision to update the branding was about more than just a new look. It was about ensuring our community sees themselves in the symbols, colors, and artwork that represents us to the world. By returning to Coast Salish designs and colors, we are reconnecting with the deep cultural heritage that grounds us.
The idea behind the branding palette is more like for public signage and TFN publications. I want people to be able to easily recognize our palette and know that that sign is going to have something pertinent that they can learn about Tsawwassen First Nation and the territory. Auntie, how are you doing?
Oh, hi, Carl.
Give me a hug.
Oh, love you. I love you too. Just looking at our own pictures.
Oh, yeah.
This one is my favorite one, eh?
Yeah?
Because it's the little church. Grandma and Grandpa lived right next door.
Wow.
Yeah. And he did the fire, and Grandma did the cleaning of the church and put the flowers in, eh?
When I look back on the old photos, I really feel divided. There was a big part of me that really, really loved the old way. It was a very peaceful, beautiful place. The old gravel road, you know, all of those things were just bring back fond memories of the way of life that we had at one time. It was very humble. It was very quiet. That's right there on the corner of 41B there is where the sign would have been in, right on the highway there as you enter into TFN. I grew up in Ladner, and we would often come down and visit family and recognize early that there was a TFN logo there with the two eagle heads facing outwards from one another. There we go. Beautiful. Two eagles here was designed by Karen Williams, I think in the early 80s.
Where was this sign before?
So these signs there would have been one at the highway, and there would have been one at the end of 41B. So as you're entering TFN, the original lands before the treaty, you would have seen these signs, and this is the top half. And in the bottom half, it would have said no hunting, no fishing, no trespassing. The original logo with the two eagles, it was a beautiful piece. I still had the reservation, Indian reservation on it, and all of that kind of language was in that signage, and it was just a beautiful place to come. I always remember that design. And then in the early 1990, maybe it was the late 80s, Tsawwassen asked me to redo the logo. So I ended up coming up with this design here. And then to be asked to do something that was a little bit stronger Coast Salish and a little bit more traditional art, I was very honored and privileged to do that piece. The main difference that I chose to take in my design was I had the eagles both looking in the same direction, having a shared vision. That was kind of a sign of the times, you know. Tsawwassen First Nation was developing things that made us a little bit more prosperous and gave us a little bit of an edge, because we were still dependent on the government and not able to develop our land for the most part. In 2009, I was asked to do this because we're signing our treaty, I believe, in 2010. So it goes from the two eagles looking out to the two eagles taking the same direction with the sun, and then this piece is meant to have the blue, the sky blue in the background, but it's titled Tsawwassen Takes Flight because we're signing our treaty, and what that meant to our people was it gave us our independence to develop our own land and to create our own future for our people and our future generations. And then when the treaty happened, we were making our own laws, we were making our own agreement with the country, and we were just kind of stepping out. I just felt like it was time to have a national flag, something that was going to stay there for the years to come. So it made sense to just choose the solo eagle taking flight. We're one people with one vision, creating our own future for our next generations, our kids. Now what we're doing with the rebranding of this is Tsawwassen First, that means Tsawwassen people. We're taking that out and we're enlarging the eagle so that it better fits inside the rectangle of the flag. So it'll be just the eagle on our flag. Just having that eagle was very fitting, and then to have the blue skies of sunny Tsawwassen. We've got the most sun out here. We're always very lucky to have a lot of blue sky. So I wanted to emphasize that. And as we moved into the branding, Vincent Morgan, my son, did a bunch of very basic Coast Salish design, trigons, crescents. He did some feathers, and then he did just some circular kind of drum designs. And that's meant for the signage, the publications, and the color palette of blues and greens. And those colors are meant to represent the skies, but also the waters. Water is very important to us as First Nations, having clean water. The dark and light greens are meant to represent the cedar.
Looking ahead, this branding refresh opens the door for even more opportunities to weave our culture into the work of the nation. Over time, this will create a unified yet diverse visual language for TFN, one that tells our story, celebrates our people, and ensures that every member, staff person, and visitor experiences a strong sense of place and belonging when they see our brand.
For me to see the flag flying is a reminder the Tsawwassen people are here, we're thriving, and we're getting stronger. I want the children to be able to look up at the flag and have a sense of belonging to the land. And when they have that sense of belonging, I want them to feel that in their identity and in their core of who they are and what it means to be First Nations and Coast Salish and Tsawwassen, and to have a lot of pride in that.